Welcome to Racergirl Television. I'm your host, Melanie McQuaid. I'm here in Park City, Utah, Emma Gerard's stomping grounds, with two other Canadian pro athletes, Christy Jeffrey and Michael Dick. And all of us are lowlanders, so we're here getting ready for the 7,000-foot race that we're about to embark upon on Saturday at the Xterra US Nationals. So it's going to be a great women's race, but I guess all the buzz right now is about the men's race and the arrival of Lance Armstrong. So because he's coming, it actually has drawn a lot of attention to this race, and mostly to the men's race. But in him coming, I have heard that he's starting to actually do some revolutionary ideas within our sport, which is pretty cool. And I just thought I'd go over some of the things that he's planning to do on Saturday that I've heard from my sources, and we can all weigh in on whether or not we think they're improvements on the sport or not. One of the things I've heard is that because he's going to get mobbed at the start because he's such a superstar, he's bringing his own bike rack to the start, and he has decided to bring a titanium bike rack because it's lighter. And I was asking why you would bother with a titanium bike rack, and all they gave me was it's lighter, and I guess you can't argue with that. So titanium bike racks, I guess we all need one of those. Second, he's actually gone back to the same frame composite that he was using in 1995 when he was dropping Jan Ulrich, and purportedly that design actually has anti-magnetic properties that tend to shoot other people's bikes out behind him. And so I was trying to talk to Conrad about this, and I'm going to try and get an interview with him to see whether or not Specialized has come up with a good anti-magnetic property so that he could stick to his wheel just in case Lance managed to catch him or Josiah on the bike. He is so huge that I couldn't imagine him actually standing on the beach with us normal people. So what I've heard is that he's chartered a Black Hawk helicopter to go out over the swim start and actually drop out into the water when he hears Kahuna's cannon go off. So if you guys all see a second really tiny but black and kind of quiet helicopter next to the helicopter that has the television crew, you know that's going to be Lance. And I heard he's actually going to swim fast, so I know that CJ is going to be standing right underneath that black helicopter waiting for Lance to drop into the water so that she can be sure that she's near him, just in case he's got some game and she might need to draft off of him. Of course, you are going to sprint by him in case he does get out of the water, like with or near you, just to ensure that you are the first woman ever to be passed by Lance Armstrong in a race, which is, you know, definitely a claim to fame.
Yeah, I think Lance needs to get checked. I mean, I don't think it's happened to him before, so I think, you know, you have to experience everything once in your life, and this weekend's going to be that. Exactly. I think that Lance is actually probably going to be a strong climber. He's shown, like, at some point in the past that he can ride a bike. And so I was thinking that for the pro men, they might want to start thinking about ways to improve their power to weight ratio. I know that Lance is looking at like 8-to-1 or some nerdy number that who gives a crap. But anyways, so Conrad is a little bigger, and what I thought I would tell him is like to figure out a way to lose some weight at the steepest part and the highest altitude. So he's actually going to put like a ripstop thing on his bike so he can get rid of all extra weight, which includes his tubes, his gels, his bottles, any spare tires or tools, and his race kit. And he actually has to lose the whole race kit because you can't just take the top off because that's illegal. But if you take the whole thing off, then you're racing in a nudist race kit and you're fine. So I think that that's what Conrad's planning for the upper stages of it. It's not going to look good for spectators, so you know, you might not want to watch the run. I've heard Michael's going to try the same thing too.
Well, Michael,
because her power to weight ratio is about 8-to-1 too.
Yeah, I'm pretty close, and my descending skills are, you know, I think I can match Lance Armstrong's descending skills, and so I don't need all that extra protection.
Yeah, the padding.
So I'll just go right by.
Exactly. Yeah. And obviously, if Michael's not wearing any clothes, then the rest of the field is going to stop to watch, which, you know, helps her overall in the race.
Of course, her nudist suit is way better than Conrad's nudist suit, so
yeah,
we're okay on that end.
3 out of 5 experts agree that women look better in tights than we see through spandex or nude. So, anyways, we're trying to figure out whether or not Lance is planning to come to Hawaii, and we're just assuming that he can't make that decision yet until he gets an idea what his finances are. Like, probably he's waiting right now to see whether or not he's going to make enough prize money and bonuses to gas the jet to get there, or maybe he's just waiting to see if he gets that extra bonus so that he can put a massage chair in there, because it is a relatively long climb. So we're looking forward to hearing from him as to whether or not he's going to step it up for the Worlds. But more importantly, let's talk about the women's race and what's going to happen this weekend. So we're looking at is it a pretty tight race for third right now, CJ?
I think it's a huge race for third. I think there's a lot of mountain goats out here. We've got Emma Gerard at altitude. We've got Kelly Cullen. We've got Sarah Tarkington. I think all those girls are going to be out racing their butts off.
Totally. I know that I had a really tough battle with Kelly Cullen and Sarah Tarkington at Beaver Creek. So these high altitude mountain races are really good for those altitude girls. And Shawnee, of course, who, she says she's injured, but she's an animal, so I'm pretty sure she could basically tape her leg onto her bike and ride with one leg and still outsplit me on the bike. So I'm not putting a lot of stock into her injury. I'm just assuming that she's going to kick her asses anyways.
It might even be a bionic knee brace.
Probably. She's going to be like Wonder Woman out there for sure.
There we go.
Exactly. She's going to be stuck to Lance's wheel like nobody's business. So Michael, this is your second Xterra ever. You started with Whistler, and here we are at high altitude. It's a climbing race. But what are you thinking going into the race?
I'm thinking if I can survive the swim and not have to do a lot of backstroke and breaststroke, then I might be okay. As long as I'm not half hour out behind coming out of the water. I don't trip this year. This time coming out of my altitude. If I don't trip, I'll be set.
I have to say that all of us have had an event where we've had to flip over on our back and do backstroke. I know I did it in Keystone, Colorado, a number of times. This race is your biggest mass start. So do you have a strategy for that mass start?
Nope.
There you have it. Okay.
Throw your elbows.